Atomic Goyon directs the film Chloe. It stars Julianne Moore, Amanda Seyfried, and Liam Neeson. It's based on the French film Natalie from a few years ago. And this film is set in Toronto, where the suspicions of Julianne Moore's character lead her to decide to hire a prostitute just to see if her husband really is cheating on her. Of course, that leads to some very disastrous circumstances, and the film itself devolves into an art house fatal attraction type thriller. And that's a shame, because although I liked Fatal Attraction, the film, I didn't like the way it was emulated here in some senses. No, not the more violent or graphic things, those were not here in Chloe, but just the way this film becomes very predictable at times and definitely foreseeable. There's just one or two things, just one thing in fact, that one of the characters needed to do to make this film end in 20 minutes, and of course the character doesn't do that. Hence this film that we have, Mr. Goyon, so very talented, loses his way here, and the biggest mistake he makes is trying to make a Hollywood thriller instead of just doing what comes naturally to him. He has done such great work in the past, such as The Sweet Hereafter. One of the reasons I think Chloe stumbles so much is because he doesn't write this film. It's the first film that he's directed where he has not written the screenplay. That task went to Erin Cressida Wilson, and while there's some things that aren't too bad here, most of all, the script really falls very flat. Amanda Seyfried's character is just a device. She's not a real character as such. She's there just to propel the story along. We know very little about Chloe. We know very little about her desires and motivations. Or well, we do know her desires, we know those well. But we don't really understand what else motivates her, what other groundings the character has. And she, as I said, is just a device. Liam Neeson has a small role here, and some of this film was directed and made during the unfortunate and very tragic and untimely passing of his wife, Natasha Richardson. There's also some very good work here from Julianne Moore, though, as the anguished wife who has a lot of different things going on. She's the most interesting and complex character. Again, there's so much that could have been done to make this film better, and unfortunately it ends up being a very art house and even tawdry piece of work sometimes. Michael Danna's music is good but not great. In fact, it's misused here, and that's something that we don't often think when we think of Michael Danna, who's a great composer, but somehow it doesn't work out for him here, and overall, neither does this film. I'm Omar Moore for the Popcorn.